Hello, grade 7. Welcome to the first virtual school day. Before we start with our lesson, let's warm up first and relearn or practice multiplying algebraic terms using the distributive property. It is important that you are properly warmed up because this is related to our lesson for today. So given an example, 2 times the quantity of 4x plus 9, we're going to multiply 2 to all the terms inside the bracket. So let's start with 4x. 2 times 4x, it will give us 8x. Then we multiply 2 to the last term inside the bracket, which is 9. So that will be 2 times 9, which will give us 18. Okay, if you have done this ahead of time, that's even better. Okay, you can just check the answer if I'm going to say is the same thing as what you have done. Okay, the second one is negative 5 multiplied to 2x plus 7. So we're going to multiply negative 5 to each term inside the bracket. Negative 5 times x times 2x will give us negative 10x. And negative 5 times positive 7, we have different symbols so that our product will be negative, so that's minus or negative 35. For the last example, we have negative 2 times the quantity of negative 4x minus 3. First, we multiply negative 2 to negative 4x. We have a negative times a negative. That will give us a positive. So our product is 8x. For the last term inside the bracket, which is negative 3, negative 2 times negative 3 will give us positive 6. So I hope that you remembered everything using distributive property in multiplying algebraic terms. Now for our lesson for today, your objective is to learn how to factor using the highest common factor. Okay. Let's have an example here, which is 5x plus 10. This is already multiplied. So this, based from your warm-up, this is actually your answer or solution in the warm-up. In our lesson for today, we're doing it backwards. So where this 5x plus 10 came from, that's what we are doing. And to be able to do this, there are some few steps that you need to learn. Okay, so let's look at 5x first. Let's think, what are the factors of 5x? Okay, or what are the numbers that you use to multiply to get 5? Okay, so if we do that, multiplying 5, you will have 1 and 5, and then you have a variable, so you have x. So the factors for 5x are 1, 5, and x. Now let's look at 10. What are the factors of 10? 10 can be 1 times 10 will give you 10. It could also be 2 times 5, which will give you 10. Now let's compare these two sets of factors. What are the common factors? Okay, in this one we have 1, and then here there's also 1. Okay, and then 5, and then a 5 here. Okay, so you have 1 and 5, but between 1 and 5, the highest common factor is 5. So your HCF is 5. You're just going to write 5 and then open bracket. And then the next thing that you need to do is 5 times what is going to give you 5x? Or what is 5 times blank is going to give you 5x? And it's 5x. Okay, we are now done with the first term. How about 10? 5 times what will give us 10? Or 5 times blank will give us 10. Okay, that's correct. I know you're thinking too. So it's plus 2. Okay, if you want to check if your factors are correct, you can use multiplication using distributive property. 5 times x is 5x, and this is what you have over here. And to continue, 5 times 2 is equal to positive 10, which is your term here. So that means that your factors are correct. Okay, let's have another example. Example 2. You have 6x squared plus 12x. Let's look at the first term first. 6x2. What are your factors to get 6x squared? We can have 1 and 6 for 1 times 6, which will give you 6. You can also have 2 and 3 because 2 times 3 is 6. Now for the variable part, because it's x squared, that means that you have 2 x's. Okay, now how about 12? What are the factors of 12? Let's list them down. It can be 1 and 12 because 1 times 12 is 12. It could also be 2 and 6 because 6 times 2 is 12. Then it's also 3 and 4 because 3 times 4 is 12. And then you only have 1x, so we list down 1x. Let's look at the common factors. You have 1 as a common factor. 12, no, because 12 is just here. 6, yes, it's a common factor. You have 6 on both. 2 is a common factor. 3 is a common factor. And if we look at all the common factors, the highest is 6. So we're going to get 6. How about the letters or the variable? What are the common letters or common variable? The common is just 1x. In 6x squared, you have 2. In 12x, you have 1. So they only have one common x. So the highest common factor is 6x. We are going to write 6x. It's over here. That's your highest common factor. Again, what you're going to think inside your head is 6x times what is going to give you 6x squared, or 6x blank is going to give you 6x squared. Yes, it's x because 6x times x gives you 6x squared. Now, we're done with the first term. We're moving on to the second term, which is 12x. Again, 6x times what is going to give you 12x, or 6x times blank is going to give you 12x, and the answer is plus 2. Again, I encourage you to check your answers. So we use distributive property. 6x times x will give you 6x squared. That's correct. Then 6x times 2 is 12x, and that's correct. So your factors are 6x times the quantity of x plus 2. Now, at this point, I would like you to get your notebook, or you can open a Google Doc, or you can open a Word document that you can share with me later on at the end of the session of your virtual school. On this part, write the missing number in each case. You are just filling in what is the highest common factor. What factor are we missing here to get 2x plus 4? So, what is the highest common factor of 2x and 4? Yes, it's 2. So, if I check it, 2 times x, it will give us 2x. Then 2 times 2 will give us 4. So our missing number, or our missing highest common factor, is 2. I would like you to continue and answer 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now copy the whole thing. I don't want you to just write the answer. Okay, stop the video and solve all the problems. Okay, let's continue now. Again, let's practice. We have x squared plus 3x. What will be the factors of x squared? Okay, we have 2 x's, and for the second term, our factors are 3 and x, and the only common factor for both is 1x. So our highest common factor is x. So we're going to write x. Now we will do it again, what we have done before. X times what will give us x squared, and that's x. Then let's move on to the next term, 3x. X times what will give us 3x, and it's going to be plus 3. Okay, now you are done, and you can double check it by multiplying x to all the terms inside. See if what you're going to get is x squared plus 3x. How about a squared b plus 2ab? What are their common factors? I know that this one will have two a's and one b. On the other hand, on this term, I will have a 2, one a, and then a b. So here, there's no number, so 2 is not a common factor. For a, I know that on this term, there's 2a, and here is 1a, so they have 1a in common. Here, there's 1b, and then the other term, there's 1b. So they have 1b in common. That means that the highest common factor is ab. I'm going to write ab now, and then I have my brackets. ab times what is going to give me a squared b. That's a. Okay, now on the second term, this is plus. I'm going to copy that here, plus. Now, AB times 2AB times what is going to give me 2AB. Okay. The missing one is 2. So, I have completed my factors here. The factors are AB times the quantity of A plus 2. Let's check your understanding once again. This is the second set of what you're going to solve. You are given the highest common factor, but this time you have to fill in or fill out the missing terms inside the bracket. So 2 times what is going to give you 2m. That's m. Okay, now move on to the second term. 2 times what is going to give me 10. That's 5. So the answer is m plus 5. You have completed the factors of 2m plus 10, and that's 2 times the quantity of m plus 5. I would like you to continue and solve the rest of the problems. Once again, write your answer in the notebook or in a Word document or the Google document that you have created. You may start now. Pause the video first so you can work on it. Okay, now that you have finished the second set, let's move on to the last set. Okay, you're going to completely factorize the whole algebraic expressions that are given to you here. Okay, so let's factorize the first one, 2y plus 6. The common factor for 2y and 6 is 2, and then you have y plus 3. You have to complete the factors this time on the last set. Okay, continue the rest and write it again in your notebook or in the Google Doc or Word document that you have created. After you have answered everything, please share them with me, and then I can mark you present in your first virtual school day. Bye, grade 7. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you have learned factoring in this video.